All of the hard work, all the research, all the fantasy mock drafts come to this moment, guys. Thursday night football is here, week one. We're going to be doing some game previews in this video. We're going to be going game by game, talk about over-unders, Vegas lines. We're going to talk about sits, starts. We're just going to give a quick rundown on each game and tell you who I'm maybe afraid to start. So let's start this video, man. I'm Ron from Never Lucky. Welcome to the channel. Like the video if you like it. Subscribe if you're new if you want to catch more of this moving forward. Cowboys fans, you guys might want to close your eyes for this one. 8.5-point underdogs in Philadelphia against the Eagles. This is going to be a tough one. I see a path where you guys could potentially win if you're a Cowboys fan. Their offense just has to be really competent. They have to essentially outscore the Eagles. Now, the Eagles' strength is their defense. Their offense can sometimes be middling, so that's kind of like the win condition where if the Cowboys just outscore them, if maybe the defense is off to a slow start. It is very simple. We have a 47.5 over under, so not a bad over under, but a pretty big, 8.5-point underdogs. That's tied for the worst on the slate in the week. I think only the Titans are a bigger underdog, or maybe the same underdog at the moment. So this one is very simple. If you own Cowboys players, you're essentially starting everyone except for anyone in the run game. In my opinion, bench Javonte Williams. You don't want to be sad, Thursday night when you see Javonte Williams only has like 7 points. Maybe he can fall into the end zone if they get like a pass interference in the end zone. But for the most part, you're starting CeeDee Lamb, you're starting Pickens, and you're starting Ferguson, and maybe even Dak. I would, think twice if you have a better option. Maybe you can go, like if you have like a Kyler Murray, I'd go with him over Dak. But for the most part, you're probably going to start him. Could be a blowout. It is a divisional game. Then on the Eagles side, you're just going to be starting everyone, man. You're starting Hurts, you're starting Saquon, you're starting AJ Brown, you're starting Devontae Smith. You can even start Dallas Goedert in this game, man. I have him in a league. I'm starting him, so I'm going with him. Next, we have Chiefs Chargers in Brazil. Hopefully the players are not at the titty bar all night. We have a 46.5 over under. Kansas City, a 3.5-point favorite, so it's going to be a tight game. It's a divisional game. You never know with these. Fantasy implications, I think you're essentially just going to start everyone. Now, the Chiefs obviously have a better matchup, but the Chargers don't have a bad defense, right? So you're starting Pacheco, but you're being a little bit worried about potentially him losing goal line work. You're not going to start Kareem Hunt. You're probably going to start Xavier Worthy. You can take a flyer if you're in a very deep league. Hollywood Brown is actually a decent play this week. You're starting Kelsey. You drafted him. You're not going to start any wide receiver other than Lad McConkey, in my opinion. The Kansas City Chiefs have a really good secondary. They have a really good run D. You don't want to start a guy like Keenan Allen, who, yes, he could get volume. It's just, I don't know if the Chargers are going to be scoring enough points, in my opinion. I think the Chiefs maybe win this by a touchdown. I think it's going to be like Lad McConkey gets a touchdown, Hampton, maybe even Najee Harris if he gets some play. I think it's going to be like a game where the Chargers kind of struggle out the gate. Chiefs probably dominate. They want to get off to a fast start. Now, the one upside case here is that the Chiefs do want to be more explosive. They do want to pass the ball a lot more. We saw it in the preseason. They were very pass heavy. That means less time of possession, which means the Chargers might have more cracks at it. And then you could potentially start Keenan Allen. In my opinion, I'm benching him. I want to see how he looks on this new team now. Next matchup, we got Buccaneers Falcons, 47.5, with Tampa Bay being a very slim favorite, 1.5 points. So this is, again, divisional game, dude. I love week one. We got a bunch of divisional games here. We got Baker Mayfield, auto start, Bucky Irving, auto start, Rachaad White in a pinch if you're in a flex league and you're dying. Listen, man, I'm down horrendous in one of my leagues. I have no running backs, like my most important league. I just got cucked. I drafted wide receivers early. Every running back fell off the board, so I might have to start a guy like Rachaad White. You're starting Evans. You're starting Ebuka. You're staying away from any tight end on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Michael Penix, bench him. There's no reason you should be starting Michael Penix. Obviously, if you're in a super flex league, you might want to start him. Bijan, come on, bro. You're going to start Bijan. Drake London, definitely a start, as well as Darnell Mooney. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers can be beat through the air, usually, right? Their run D was always their strength in seasons past. So you're going to start Darnell Mooney. You're going to start Drake London. You're going to be very confident in them. And if you drafted Kyle Pitts, you're probably drafted tight end late. You probably don't have another option. You're going to start Kyle Pitts. Those are the three guys that I can imagine getting some production, but I think it's just going to be one of those games where it could be a slugfest. It could be a slow-moving game. Both teams, it's a very important divisional game. They're not going to want to make mistakes. They're just going to be essentially running the ball. Moving along now, we have Cincinnati Bengals at Cleveland Browns. 5.5-point favorites by Cincinnati. This one's a little bit surprising. I thought the Bengals would be a much bigger favorite. I guess Joe Flacco and his elite play is keeping them in this game. 47.5 over under. Across the board, a pretty standard game. I think the Bengals probably blow them out. They don't want to get off to another slow start. They've been really taking it serious this training camp, it seems. So you're going to be starting Burrow. You're going to start Chase Brown. You're going to be starting Chase. You're going to be starting Higgins. Mike Gesicki is also someone where, again, if you just punted tight end, you could do worse than Mike Gesicki. I think I actually quite like Mike Gesicki in this matchup. And then on the Browns, unfortunately, I don't know if I want to start any of the running backs. I know Jerome Ford has been announced as the starter. Dylan Sampson was getting a lot of buzz, a lot of hype in training camp. This could be a two-man committee here. I think you want to stay put. Don't start anyone just to see what happens. Obviously, if you're down horrendous like I am, you're probably going to want to start Jerome Ford. Dylan Sampson is interesting to me, though, in this matchup because if the Bengals are truly just blowing them out, Dylan Sampson can see some extended run here as the pass catching back, as the hurry up back. And that's where I can imagine like some type of PPR scam things going on where if you're in a PPR league and you need a flex play, you need like a deep flex play, Dylan Sampson is actually someone that I quite like. And then I'm starting Judy and I'm starting Tillman. I'm starting both of them. The secondary for the Bengals is just not good. If you can beat the Bengals, you're going to beat them through the air. Njoku smash start in pretty much every game this season. He's going to be the focal point or one of the focal points in this offense, so I'm definitely starting him. Now we start to get into the disgusting part of the draft. I mean, long neck as Daniel Jones being a part of any type of matchup preview, it's going to be disgusting. You're starting Tua if you have him and you have to start him. You're starting Achane, he's a smash play. Ollie Gordon is actually like a decent little flex play. I would say stay put. Do not start Gordon yet. We want to see what happens. We want to see how this offense looks. We're expecting him to be the next Mostert. We've been saying that for like 3 seasons now. I think it's just going to be Devon Achane getting most of the work. Ollie Gordon is actually kind of slow as shit. It looks like he's running through quicksand sometimes, but he's a big back. He's a bruising back. It looks like they want to use him as like the bruiser, right? The between the tackles guy potentially sometimes, but I still just think it's going to be Achane, man. How do we start all these players? How does Jonathan Taylor eat? How does Downs eat? How does fucking Michael Pittman get his stuff? How does Daniel Jones suck? Or how do they do that with Daniel Jones being so fucking bad? I don't know. The math doesn't math to me. I feel like only one person can eat on this Colts team per game. But keep in mind that the Miami Dolphins do have a pretty bad defense. They traded away like their one good defender. Josh Downs does have a 5th round rookie defending him in the slot. So I think if somebody's going to eat on this team on the Colts, it's going to be Josh Downs. He's one of my favorite starts of the week this week, actually, to be fully honest with you guys. So I think Pittman, I'd be a little bit worried. We're expecting him to be that possession receiver yet again, but I don't know, man. Daniel Jones he's like 30th out of 40 quarterbacks in terms of average depth of target. He only throws short, and Josh Downs is going to be commanding that slot role. Although I will say Josh Downs does play kind of like a deep slot sometimes, so Michael Pittman could kind of mix in there too on the short yardage stuff. But next we got Carolina, Jacksonville. Now I will say, man, I think this is going to be a shootout. We got the Panthers as a 3.5 point underdog in Jacksonville. Now I think this game could be a shootout, which means I think Trevor Lawrence and Bryce Young could potentially be starts. They're like bottom end, they're back end quarterback twos. They're not really that exciting. But I think if this game turns out to be the shootout that I think it can, both of them have pretty bad defenses. You're starting Chuba, you're starting Travis Etienne. I think Tank Bigsby, as you guys can see, I'm starting him. I'm in a pinch. I'm probably going to be starting him. You're going to be starting Tedderell McMillan. You're definitely not going to start Xavier Leggett. Brian Thomas, smash start. And that's pretty much it. Obviously, at the tight end position, Brenton Strange, you probably drafted him late. You're probably going to want to start him. Jatavian Sanders, you're probably not going to start him. There's definitely better options this week. This is one of those games where it could be a shootout. I can imagine like a deep ball to Leggett even fucking paying off, but I would not start him. That's just kind of one of those like weird feelings that I have about this game. Next, we have Raiders Patriots. Expected to be a low scoring game, 43.5 over under, with New England being a slight favorite. Mike Vrabel usually likes a good run defense. That's kind of how they construct their teams when he was with the Patriots, when he was with the Titans. Run defense is their core. That's how they kind of build their teams. That's how they build their strategy. So because of that, Ashton Genty, although he's a smash start, you drafted him in the first, second round. You have to start him. I'll temper my expectations a little bit. This might not be the coming out party. You're probably not going to want to start Geno Smith, obviously. Drake May is an interesting start here. I think the Raiders are not going to have a very good defense. It's going to be a low-scoring game, I think, just one of those slugfest games. It might even be raining in this game. So I think Trevion Henderson and Stevenson are both starts. You can start both of them in this matchup. Genty start, but temper your expectations. And then at the wide receiver position, this one is a little bit tougher. Jacoby Myers, probably going to start him. If anybody's going to produce, it's going to be Genty and Myers and Bowers, probably. Those are the 3 guys. Diggs, look, man, if you're down bad and you drafted Diggs late and he's your second flex or your wide receiver 3, I guess you have to start him. He should be the guy early in the season. He should be getting most of the work, most of the volume, right? Kyle Williams is going to be moved along slowly. Demario Douglas is really just like a slot receiver. He's like a Wan'Dale Robinson type. Keyshawn Booty, he's kind of butt cheeks. So, like, I'm not really excited about most of them. Hunter Henry, if you're in a pinch, you could start him. You could do worse than Hunter Henry, but, you know, Brock Bowers, auto start. We don't even need to talk about that. Next, we have the Cardinals at Saints. This is one of those games that's weird, man. 6.5-point favorites are the Cardinals. The Saints are expected to be bad. They don't really know who their quarterback is going to be. It's going to be Rattler. Maybe Shuck ends up playing. It's going to be a shit team, dude. Let's be honest. Kamara is going to be the only guy that you really want to start in this game. Olave is interesting. Shaheed is also interesting. The Cardinals don't have the best defense. So this is a situation where even though it's a low over-under, there's a chance that the Saints are just playing from behind. I just don't know if Rattler or Shuck can move the ball. I don't know if they can get the ball to Olave and Shaheed. If it was Derek Carr, I'd feel a lot better, right? Those deep bombs to Shaheed. He's a lot more of a competent quarterback. But these two guys, man, Shuck and Rattler, they are fucking Scrooge and McDuck, dude. They are so bad. So you're not really going to want to start anyone on the Saints. In my opinion, this can be one of those games that just gets out of hand. And Rattler's just getting fucking thrown on his ass all game. You're going to be smash starting Connor. You're smash starting Kyler Murray. You're smash starting Marvin Harrison. That's pretty much it. Obviously, Trey McBride. Juwan Johnson, stay away. There's just much better tight end options. I don't want anything to do with that. Pittsburgh at New York. Now, I'm super excited, very excited to see how Aaron Rodgers looks with Pittsburgh. It's an Arthur Smith offense, so I'm going to fucking hate watching them at the beginning, but this could be a competent offense. Aaron Rodgers could be the guy that makes Arthur Smith be a normal offensive coordinator for once. They're going to be leaning on the run. I don't think you can start Aaron Rodgers because, you know, the Jets have a pretty solid secondary. You're going to want to start Justin Fields, but temper your expectations in this one. But it is a revenge game. There's a chance that Justin Fields kind of pops off here. So, you know, he always has that rushing upside. You're going to start Fields if you drafted him, definitely. Breece Hall, you're drafting him, but, you know, temper your expectations. It's a good Pittsburgh defense. Braylon Allen, I want to see a game first. I want to see what his workload is. Is he going to be the early down guy or not? I don't know. I'm benching him. I'm holding off for now. I want to see what happens. Jaylen Warren is the expected starter. Now, that can mean so many things. The coaching staff said he earned it, that he's their guy, that they want to give him the chance. He earned the starting role. Caleb Johnson, who they drafted as a rookie, you know, he's not very good at pass protection. Aaron Rodgers, he's not very mobile. He doesn't want to get sacked. It is problematic, man. It's problematic if you drafted Caleb Johnson. I think we're going to have to wait a while until he plays. And, you know, he's going to have to really improve his pass protection. But I think you can start Jaylen Warren, you know, at your flex. I wouldn't be super excited about it. Obviously, smash start DK Metcalf. I wouldn't start any of the other guys, but I am very curious to see how this wide receiver room shapes out. Is it going to be Roman Wilson as the number 2 guy? You know, they're hype about him, but they did say he needs to kind of focus more. He needs to be more confident. He needs to kind of fix the mistakes, but they love him as a talent. Aaron Rodgers had a quote earlier in the offseason, I think maybe a week ago or even a few weeks ago, where he was like, we have high expectations for Roman Wilson. It's because we think he can be great. If he was just a guy, just a random guy, we wouldn't be putting so much pressure on him, but we love Roman Wilson. So as a late stash, a deep stash, just to see what happens in week 1, I might want to pick up Roman Wilson, man. Throw him at the end of your bench just to see what happens. You heard it here first. Garrett Wilson, you're starting him, but you're not starting any other wide receiver. But that's also another wide receiver room where it's going to be low pass volume. It's going to be a bad passing game. But what if someone emerges, man? What if it's Reynolds? What if it's Lazar? So I want to see what happens, dude. Is it just going to be Garrett Wilson getting everything? If so, we should have been ranking this man way higher. Giants at Commanders next. We have a 45.5 over-under. Commanders are a 6.5 favorite. So we're expecting the Commanders to win this game, win it pretty easily. I love Malik Neighbors in this game. I love Russell Wilson. And I even love Tyrone Tracy because of the passing upside, because of the receiving upside. Russell Wilson loves to throw deep. Malik Neighbors, this could be an explosion game, dude. I have Neighbors like in the top 5 rankings this week. Terry McLaurin, you're obviously starting. Eckler is one of those players where if you go 0 RB and he's kind of one of your only running backs, you kind of have to start him. I'm going to be holding off on anyone else on the Commanders. I want to see what happens with this depth chart. Is it Bill? Is he the RB2? Is he the early down guy? Or is it going to be Eckler with Rodriguez and McNichols? Is it going to be a full-blown committee? We just don't know. Obviously, you're starting Jaden Daniels. You're not going to want to start Russell Wilson. And then at the tight end position, you know, Zach Ertz, I suppose you can start him, but he's not the most exciting in a game that they should be winning by quite a lot. It's possible that this team is just running the ball or just running out the clock. McNichols sees some playing time. Every running back is getting a crack at it. So I wouldn't be too excited about anyone on this Commanders team other than McLaurin, Jaden Daniels, and maybe Eckler. Oh, we almost forgot Deebo Samuel, man. So Deebo Samuel, I kind of want to see it once. I want to see what his role is. Is he going to be in the Deebo role? Now, I think he might be. I think there's a chance that he's going to get a lot of work in this game. He's fresh. He's healthy. This would be the time that I think Deebo Samuel does produce, would be early in the season. I don't mind starting Deebo in this game, to be honest. Next, we have Tennessee at Denver. Again, as I mentioned, guys, 8.5 underdogs are the Titans. It's tied for the biggest on the slate. They're going to get destroyed. Denver has a great defense and a pretty good offense that's ascending. You're smash starting Bo Nix. You're sitting Cam Ward. I just want to see Cam Ward one game. It's a brutal matchup for him in his first game as a rookie, man. Like, I have high hopes for him. I think he is going to be a pretty decent quarterback, but in this game, you can't start him. I think you can start J.K. Dobbins. RJ Harvey is somebody that I'm a little bit worried about. I just want to see his workload first. I want to see if he's getting passing down work. At the moment, J.K. Dobbins is the starter. And if this team's going to be winning by a lot and they're going to be just like running the ball endlessly, I think there's a chance that Harvey gets some play, that he gets some like trash, garbage time play. But for the most part, I think it's going to be a Dobbins game. As the season progresses, I do think RJ Harvey starts to take over. But Tony Pollard is someone that I'm going to be worried about in this game. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think he's going to be the lead guy. Obviously, there's no one behind him. Tajay Spears is on IR, but I'd be worried, man. Now, there's a chance he falls into the end zone, that if someone were to produce on this team, it would probably be Ridley or fucking Tony Pollard. But I'd just be concerned. I don't know if he's going to be able to pop off in this game. And then we have Calvin Ridley. You're going to start him. Again, if anyone were to produce, it'd probably be Ridley. But just because I said that, bro, because I put that out into the fucking universe, watch Tyler Lockett pull in like a long touchdown. It's bound to happen, dude. Everyone is forgetting about Tyler Lockett. I've made hate videos about that man. I've stood outside his house yelling he's trash, but he always burns me. He always scores a deep touchdown the minute I start talking shit. Cortland Sutton, you're starting him. Marvin Mims, I would be careful, man. It's not a high over-under. This is not like a Marvin Mims type of game that you would want to start him. And then at the tight end, I'm starting both of them. I like Okonkwo in this matchup. I think the Denver secondary, if they have one weakness, it could be the linebackers and it could be Okonkwo taking advantage. Evan Engram, you're going to start him. I mean, you drafted him as your tight end one, so you kind of have to, but I'm not too excited about it. All right, boys, we're moving, man. We're almost done. We got a couple more games. San Francisco at Seattle. Niners are a 2.5-point favorite and 43.5 over under. So it's going to be a low scoring slugfest. It could be raining. You're still going to be starting Brock Purdy. You're still going to be starting CMC. I mean, he's the running back one on the week. He's probably going to smash. Kenneth Walker, you're starting him because you have to, but I'd be worried. I want to see what the split looks like. Is it going to be the Kenneth Walker show, or is Charbonnet going to be truly involved? Kenneth Walker, he's somebody where he's just dealing with so many injuries, man. I think they're going to just want a committee just out of the gate to keep him healthy, to try to establish Charbonnet. Maybe they want a little bit of a thunder lightning type of thing. So I'd be a little bit worried about Kenneth Walker, but you kind of have to start him. And then at the wide receiver position, you're starting Pearsall and Jennings, but I would temper my expectations on both of them producing. So I think one of them might pop off, but I don't know if both of them could. The Seahawks have a really good secondary. And then you're going to start Jackson Smith, and I would probably not start Kupp if I didn't have to, but you probably draft him in the 8th round. He's probably like your wide receiver 4 or your wide receiver 3. So maybe you have to start Kupp. To be honest, man, I think he still has some juice left in the tank. I don't know who's going to eat on the Seahawks. I don't know if there's enough meat on the bone for everybody to eat on this team. Now we have, in my opinion, probably the game of the week. We have Detroit in Green Bay, 47.5 over under. We love that. Green Bay is a 1.5-point favorite, believe it or not. This could be a shootout, man. Now, this could be either a low-scoring game or it can be a shootout. Fucking, how's that for analysis? You're going to start everyone in this game. In my opinion, you're going to start Goff. You're going to start Love. You're going to start Gibbs. You're going to start Jacobs. David Montgomery, I'd be a little bit worried, a little bit nervous. I think the Green Bay defense is going to be really good this year. Josh Jacobs is kind of in a smash spot right now. Like last season, Josh Jacobs did score 3 touchdowns against the Lions, so I'm not saying he's going to repeat that, but he's a smash start. I'm starting Matthew Golden. I just want to see what happens. I don't want to wait a week and miss out on a potential blow-up game in a high-scoring game, in my opinion. If you're in a pinch, dude, if you're in a deep-ass league and you just have no one on your team, Romeo Doubs is actually interesting. At least pick him up, put him on your team just to see what happens, because he's going to be the wide receiver 2 for this team. You're going to start St. Brown. You're going to start Jameson Williams. You're going to start Laporta. You're going to start Kraft. That one's pretty simple. I'm excited about this game. I think it can be high-scoring. It's a divisional game. Both teams really want to win this to get a nice little lead to start the season. So I think it's going to be a great game. And now we have Houston in LA. Go Rams. Let's fucking go, baby. 3.5-point favorite with a 43.5 over under. Low scoring game. I wouldn't want to start Stroud if I didn't have to. I want to bench Matt Stafford. I want to bench Nick Chubb. I don't want to play any running backs for the Houston Texans. Obviously, you're going to start Collins. If Kirk plays, looks like he's not going to play. I think you start Collins and you start Higgins if Kirk is out. If Kirk plays, you can start him. Puka Nacua smash, Devonta Adams smash, Kyren Williams, temper your expectations. The Houston Texans actually have a decent run D. They can be beat in the air. So if this is going to be a game where the Rams score a lot of points, I think it's going to come from Nacua and Adams. Don't get me wrong. Kyren Williams could fall into the end zone. He's their goal line back. They could get there and then give it to Kyren. Just keep in mind that Kyren Williams is a little inefficient. It's going to be a low-scoring game. I'd lean toward the wide receivers, but you're going to be starting Kyren Williams either way. Tight ends, you're not starting anyone in this game. And now we have the biggest over-under on the week. It is the Ravens at Bills, 50.5 over-under, with the Buffalo Bills being a 1.5 point favorite. I think the Ravens are probably going to win this game, man, but I think it's going to be a big, high-scoring game. It's going to be probably this. It's probably going to be competing with that Detroit-Green Bay game for game of the week. This is like an AFC championship game preview. You're going to start everyone, but you're going to temper your expectations in the run game, in my opinion. I think this is going to be one of those games where it's going to be a Lamar Jackson and the receiver game for the Ravens. Derrick Henry's still going to get his work, but I think he's going to find a little bit of trouble finding space. That's why I have him at like RB7 this week. James Cook, temper your expectations. This could be a game where Buffalo really relies on the short passes. They really rely on not making mistakes. James Cook might have a lot of trouble running the ball. The Ravens have one of the better run Ds in the NFL. And then for the wide receivers, you're probably going to start Flowers. You're not going to start Bateman in this one. You're going to start Khalil Shakir, and that's about it. I don't want to start Coleman if I don't have to. Stay put just to see what the workload looks like. Is Coleman going to get enough volume that we can start him moving forward? Let's wait and see. Keep Coleman on your benches for now. You're going to start Mark Andrews and Dalton Kincaid. I think if the Buffalo Bills have a chance of beating the Ravens, it's going to be via Shakir and Kincaid on the short passes. So I think Kincaid might actually have a sneaky high volume game in this one. And now the final game on the slate, another game that could end up being a shootout as well. We have Minnesota in Chicago. You're not going to start JJ McCarthy. You probably want to shy away from Caleb Williams if you can, but he does have some upside but Caleb Williams does have some upside as a rushing quarterback. Believe it or not, he actually runs the ball quite a lot. I want to see McCarthy in a game first before I start throwing him in there. It should be a really good offense. Remember, Sam Darnold last year was startable in a lot of games. So if JJ McCarthy looks good as kind of a red shirt rookie, right? He was injured in his rookie season. He's somebody that I actually like, man. I actually like drafting him or picking him up, throwing him at the end of your bench just to see how this Vikings offense looks, see if it's still competent without Darnold. And then running backs, you're going to start Jones and Mason. Both of them are fine starts. You know, Mason is more of a flex. Aaron Jones as well, more of like a high-end flex. DeAndre Swift, you're going to start him because Roschon Johnson is still injured. It's going to be Monungai backing him up, and Monungai cannot really pass block. This can actually be a smash game for Swift where if Roschon doesn't play, Swift should get most of the work. I just don't think they're going to trust Monungai this early as a rookie in a divisional game against the Vikings. It's going to be the Swift show. And then at the wide receiver position, you're starting Moore and Odunze, but I'm tempering my expectations for both of them. I think Odunze is going to be fine. DJ Moore might struggle. We don't know what his role is going to be. We don't know how they're going to really be using DJ Moore. It seems Zacchaeus is the slot guy. And in a Ben Johnson offense, we love the slot. So if DJ Moore is not playing in the slot, I think that really caps his upside, man. He's going to be a manufactured touch guy, a screen guy, while Odunze is going to be the outside wide receiver. So I'm really high on Odunze this year in general. And then you're obviously going to start Justin Jefferson. Bro, don't start Adam Thielen, man. He's 47.5 years old, dude. Do not start him. I know he's probably going to be a starter this week, but just don't. Just don't do it. Like, he could be great. He could be good. He could get us like 12 fantasy points. And he could even get a touchdown, maybe even 2, and I could be fucking eating my words. Actually, fuck it, dude. Start Adam Thielen, throw him in your lineup. Come back to this video after and let me know how it went, man. Holy shit, man. That was quite a lot of content. Hopefully you guys are still here, man. I don't know if I'm going to keep doing these videos, these like every game matchup before the week videos. I don't know if it's helpful, man. Let me know down in the comments if a video like this is helpful, if you guys like that type of format where we talk about the over-unders, we talk about the sit starts. Let me know if you disagree or agree with any of the matchups that I was talking about. Maybe you think some of them will be shootouts while some of them will be low scoring that I talked about. So anyway, that does it for this video, man. I am Ron from Never Lucky. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.